What's going on, everybody? We're back here in the Skyfactory world, and today we're going to be covering parts of the Big Reactors mod and mostly just how to build a basic reactor that will get you started. Not this big. We're going to build the smallest possible, well, at least somewhere around that. And let's get started with that, and then we'll show you this thing up here. And random berry bushes. Oh, those are EXP berries. Didn't know it did that. Anyways, we're just going to make a little square here. And this is going to be the base of your reactor, because you need to actually have at least a minimum of one fuel rod here in our inventory. The yellow Areum fuel rod right in the center, and that's as tall as we need to make it. But this is just for getting started. You don't really need to make it this small. It's a pretty variable thing where you can make it at whatever size you want, as long as it's the right shape, like this, like a rectangular square. So next we're going to take our reactor casings and build it up on each side like this. Now you've got this little thing right here. So we're going to take our reactor control rod and put it on top of the fuel rod right here. And glass is optional in this. You can use casings, like I've got glass on these walls, but you can break that up and the reactor just works just the same. You could even do little designs within here if you'd like. But anyways, let's get back to this. You're going to need a reactor power tap, and that's how you're going to take your RF out of the reactor itself. Let's just put a casing up around these edges here. And you'll know it completed when you get these lines running through it. So we also need to add in an access port, and that's going to allow us to put yellow Areum ingots, which we will get from sifting through when it's... let's see where it is. Yellow Areum dust. I'm pretty sure we can get that from Nihilo. Yeah, see? 1% chance from sand. So if you're wondering how to get the yellow Areum dust to make the ingots, just sift some sand. Alright, so you drop those in there, and let's grab some now because we're going to need them. And if you notice when I put 64 in there, it's not doing anything because the reactor's not built yet, but we're going to put the final piece here. Where is it? We just got to fill this in. We'll do that with glass. And as you can see, the reactor fuel rod in the center lit up yellow. That's because it took in some of our fuel. Now to just start it up, we're going to right click on here, and it gives you the access panel to the controller. Excuse me. So this isn't a big reactor. It's not going to put out a whole lot of power, but it's definitely a very cheap start up for RF power. It only takes a little bit of iron to build these casings and the glass and whatnot, so it's not incredibly difficult to make. It's definitely better than those little generators and things like that, Stirling generators and whatnot. So if we start it up, we'll see how much RF we're going to make here, and then we'll look at this big reactor and see what it can do. So for something this small, that's not bad. About roughly 260 RF per tick, and it barely burns any fuel. Look, it's only burning 0.028 millibuckets per tick, which is nothing. If you think about it, a full bucket of liquid is 1,000 millibuckets, so 0.028 is nothing. But yeah, so this reactor is a little better than this one, different, and it's cooled by gelid lithium, or I don't know. Let's look at it. That cryothium buckets, but for this one, this is the most efficient big reactor you can make. A correction of one of my other videos. I thought the best one was when you did a checkerboard pattern, but it's not true. It turns out this one is better. So three fuel rods in a row, and then the empty space you're going to fill in with gelid cryothium. And we're going to start this thing up, and I'll show you what it can produce. And it's not all that big. You can make reactors way bigger than this. So for its size and the amount of time it takes to make this is definitely worth making in Skyfactory, power-wise and all that. And this thing is kicking out 4,500 RF per tick. And look, this is already filled up. That's 10 million right there. So 10 million RF. And it's only using 84 millibuckets per tick. So yeah, I will be going into another video about how to build the turbines, but the turbines take quite a while, so yeah, I'll see you next time, and just keep an eye out for the turbine video on big reactors.